Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video on the holding distribution of the Maxi tokens, and I think it's quite interesting. It's something that I looked at a couple months ago, and so if you go to look into Maxi and you go to the bottom of the page, there's a little link here which says some basic holder stats. If you load that up, you'll get to this little analysis here, which I did in August, and it's only on the Ethereum side, and it doesn't include any of the eMaxi tokens which people have bridged over to Pulse Chain now, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, the distribution is quite interesting. The way that I got this, if you want to try and run it yourself, is I just went to Etherscan and I went to each of the tokens. In this example, Maximus Lucky. If you go to the main token kind of contract page, and you'll be under transfers. If you just switch that to holders, and then you go all the way down, I mean, you can see them all here in this table, but there's like 20 plus pages, 1,000 or so holders of Lucky, and then just go to CSV export, and you can go ahead and export the CSV. And so I went ahead and did that and put it into a spreadsheet. And then I also gave it to ChatGPT's code interpreter to do a bit of an analysis into and make some of these charts. So I have, and this is from a few months ago, so I want to show you some updated numbers now, but just bear in mind these are outdated now, but kind of interesting to see. I mean, both the linear and the log chart kind of doesn't make sense to look at the log chart if you want to get the sense of the absolute amount of tokens that an individual wallet has, especially the bigger whales and sharks. But if you want to see kind of the amount of, in this image, squids in Maxi, for example, you can see that there's just way more on the log, a bit better than on the linear. On the linear, you can like not see anyone past shark pretty much. Just comparatively, like the amounts that they hold is just like so small compared to some of the sharks and whales. So yeah, I've kind of color coded them here just so that you can see a bit easier, but the big takeaway, I guess, is that Deci's supply seems to be a bit more, distributed and not so top heavy. Like you can also see, here, you can also see on the linear that there's just, a broader range of sharks. I mean, there's like 99 sharks, and 19 whales. I think that's the key thing. So the dark blue and the light blue, both the sharks and the whales, it's like getting close to 120. Whereas in Maxi you have kind of two Pisidian wallets which own a lot. So yeah, that could be a reason why. I mean, there's most liquidity for Deci. I mean, it's got the highest supply as well. Deci's kind of holder distribution looks like this. Another interesting thing was I wanted to look at the overlap, and I asked ChatGPT to analyze like the overlap between all of the different files, and there's quite a lot of overlap between the different coins. In some cases, like 50-60%, like Deci and Lucky holders are like similar. And then the top addresses that hold all tokens, like all of the perpetual and Maxi tokens. That was also interesting to look at. I think Alex from Hedron, as an example, he does own all of them, and just trying to see kind of like the total value of people that own all of them. This was a few months ago, but and then I did a bit of an update on the numbers just to see, maybe this is interesting for you to see kind of like how you can become a squid or dolphin or a shark on the cheap. compared to solo staking. I don't have the comparison to solo staking right now, but yeah, you can look that up. I think on GoPulse they have the price to become one of these leagues. It also just depends on how long you're one of these leagues. So take it with a pinch of salt. But for example, eDesi has the cheapest T-shares right now. So you can get a shark position for around 530k, a dolphin position for 53k, and a squid position for $5,000, which I think is really cool. And then if you compare that to Maxi, obviously you're paying more there because the cost per T-share is higher, and then Lucky as well, paying more. And then when you get down to base, you're paying almost 4 times as much, just because the T-share is 4 times higher. But then also the thing to remember is that if you become a dolphin for 190k this year, next year you're probably going to lose T-shares, so you're probably going to drop down to being a squid. And so, yeah, with Desi, you actually have a chance of leveling up. So if you pay to become a squid, 5,000, Crispy Man from hexfire.io, he has a really good analysis on this, but in 10 years, around the T-shares drop by around 50%. So the required T-shares to become any of these leagues is actually even lower by around 50% if you're buying a longer term stake like Maxi or Desi. So the number that you see here to become a dolphin is actually kind of around 25k and 2.5k and $250 for some of these leagues. So yeah, that's something to think about. The length also matters a lot. But yeah, here are some of the prices. And then I also just looked at the token leagues because I geek out over this stuff, because I'm, there's some status that goes into like being a Desi whale or a Maxi whale, etc. And so yeah, it's pretty cool if you can become a Desi whale. So you just need 40k to be a Desi whale. Like you can't even be a HEX staking whale in Desi or Maxi or any of the tokens. And you can be a shark, but no one is. And same in Desi, but then in Lucky, Trio, and Base, you literally can't be a HEX staking shark. There's not enough tokens in the stake. But yeah, if you want to be a Maxi whale, it's 30k. If you want to be a Desi whale, just because the supply is higher, it's going to cost more, but it's 40k to be a Desi whale. And then as you get to the lower time frames, Lucky, Trio, Base, they're all 7k, 5 to 7k to be one of these perpetual whales. Obviously low liquidity, so probably need to work your way up to there, but you can be a whale in some of these kind of on the cheap. So just bear in mind the difference between this set. You're not a HEX staking whale, you're just like a token whale, right? You own 1% of the supply of the whole token, so of the HEX stake, which is just a part of the HEX the different HEX stakes which are all live. It's just one HEX stake, right, among many. So yeah, anyway, have a look at these numbers. Pause the video if you want to check where you rank. I hope to get these numbers live on Looking to Maxi soon, just because I think the whole game theory behind the leagues is pretty sticky. And personally I found it sticky just because I want to level up quite aggressively. So yeah, let me know where you rank in the comments if you want to share. Otherwise, let me know what you're working towards. Personally, I'm working towards whale status. Aren't we all? But yeah, pretty cool to see the numbers here. The other cool thing that I wanted to show you is the the change in the distribution. So I probably need to do a bit more digging into this, but yeah, and people have been bridging to pulse chain, so it actually does get quite complicated. But we have been seeing movement. I don't know whether it's sellers, like large sellers or what, but if I just look at a few months ago at the holders of Maxi, for example, there were 2 side-ins. There's still 2 whales. There were 5. There's still 5. Then sharks, 110. Now there's 106. So we have 4 fewer sharks. 684 on the dolphins. 689. So yeah, it does seem like, and it's harder to exit as a whale, right? Just because of the liquidity. So as you would probably expect over time, I think some of these shark and dolphin positions will start to disperse lower. And then let's look at Deci, 13 whales. Yeah, so Deci's had quite a large decrease in whales. I would be super interested to see, so 19 going down to 13, and then the sharks 99. So the sharks actually increased, so we could be seeing, so whales decreased, sharks increased. Obviously there's a lot of factors at play here, but we could be seeing, whales sell part of their bag and become sharks, or we could see whales completely exit and lower ranks push higher. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that, just because I'm personally trying to push higher. So yeah, all right, let me know what you think here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.